Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
All right, good.
your voice is quiet tonight, but I can hear you, no problem.
Hello, everyone. April Cox here, live with our open Q&A. Ask me anything about self-publishing. I am here once a week serving the author community with these open Q&A. I also have some friends here with me live on Zoom as we go through this open Q&A. So I'm going to publish or post the link if you would like to come live with me. It is aprilcox.com/events, EVENTS, and that will pop you into the Zoom with us, and you can ask your questions live if you'd like. So I'm going to give it a moment, let a couple more people connect in with me. But if you have a question that you'd like to get onto the agenda, feel free to go ahead and post it here in the chat with me on Zoom or into the chat here on YouTube. Just going to introduce myself again, April Cox. I am the founder of Little Labradoodle Publishing, a children's book author. I've been doing this for about 7 years now. And I'm also an author coach that has been working with a number of authors on publishing children's books, novels, getting a lot more adult books lately that I've been helping to write, publish, and launch. And so far, well over 1,100, going closer to 1,200 authors that I've served. And am happy, this is my happy place in helping authors so that they're not getting taken advantage of and that they're able to get the help that they need without costing a fortune. So you'll see lots and lots and lots of stuff on YouTube that I share. By the way, if you are not one of my subscribers, I ask you to share the love, subscribe to my YouTube channel because we are approaching the 10,000 mark, 10,000 subscribers, and I'm very, very close to that. Would love your help to get over that edge. We're at 9,930 subscribers. So we're really close, and we're going to do a special celebration that will help all authors once we get to there. So for those that are joining here today, let's see, um, Kelly and Leslie, do you have anything specific that you'd like to cover with today's time? Feel free to post it in the chat if you'd like. While I'm waiting for that, I did see just a couple of open things that KDP has, or Amazon has given us a little bit more guidance around keywords. So we'll talk a little bit about what is allowed, what's not allowed based on their newest update. Also, I've been doing and showing folks a new tool that I discovered for um, putting together coloring pages. And it's a great new tool. I absolutely love it. But some of the folks that have been connecting with me said, I wish I just could have somebody else do it for me, create those coloring pages. And I actually have someone that I found that was able to do that at a really reasonable price. So I want to talk a little bit about that as well. Okay. So starting with the first topic of updates that Amazon has released, I saw this on Dave Chesson's message on kindlepreneur.com. Dale Roberts also covered it on his channel. It really focuses on a lot of things we already knew, which is you don't have to use your title or your subtitle of your book in your keyword terms. They also added you don't need to and you shouldn't use names of categories. So you don't need to use those to kind of help Amazon know that you are in those categories and that you belong in the categories. They also, one of the weird things was don't use HTML tags. I wouldn't know why anybody would use HTML tags to in their keywords, but that's one thing. We already know we can't use author names and book titles that are belong to other authors in our 7 keywords, but they also mentioned not using other brand names. So, for example, my brand is Little Labradoodle Publishing. I also have a trademark on self-publishing made simple. So if you are not the trademark owner, you should not be using those brand names inside of your 7 keyword phrases. That just makes sense to me. I'll also recommend that if you have A plus content, you may not even be aware of the fact that you can use or you can add a bunch of additional keywords into your A plus content. As you load things up, you get every image you're uploading or every module you're uploading has at least one keyword phrase that you can add for it. And if you have a module with multiple images, say 3 or 4 images in it, each image that you add adds more, adds another keyword phrase that you can add. And all of that is indexed by Amazon. So it will help you to get some more organic sales. So those are all just some tips that I wanted to throw out there for you that will be very helpful for you as you are setting up your Amazon KDP site or KDP listing to be able to launch and go live. One other thing I wanted to mention is that at 9 p.m. Eastern, after this session is over, I'm going to say goodbye to my friends on YouTube and we're going to move into a mastermind session here. If you are a mastermind member, that is no charge for you to go through this. And if you are not, you can still elect to join us on the Zoom session. It's just a $20 fee. Now, today's session, and the reason why I want to mention it is that I'm going to be doing a deeper dive into book launch. I have 2 or 3 authors all together today that I met with that are all launching their books. So I said, I'm just going to make this drop-in session, at least the first half of it or so, dedicated to book launches, what you should be doing, how are you setting up the dates, when are you launching, and kind of walking through that whole process. And I've got a couple of my authors that have things that I can actually share as an example. We can look at their KDP dashboard, we can look at their marketing plan, and be able to answer questions with real life experience here with their books as well. So if you're interested in that, hang out with me. If you're already a mastermind member, you can take a break and come back. And if you're not and you want to know, hey, where do I register for this so that you can jump on with us, just go to Self-Pub Made Simple. I'm just going to put it into the chat as well. selfpubmadesimple.com/upcoming events. And there you will see today's special session. I'm going to post that here on YouTube for you as well. And it is going to be an hour-long session, maybe go a little over if we have enough participation. Upcoming events. There we go. So posted there. Feel free again to post any questions that you have so that we can move forward. So Leslie asks about having a YouTube channel. So tell me a little bit more about what you're thinking about there and what questions you have about YouTube, Leslie.
Well, I watched and I need to rewatch it, the one that we had with Dale Roberts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got very excited about it, and I ordered his book that he did
Good.
about YouTube. And you and I have talked before, but I think that I really do want to pursue that because I find in the last week I had 3 different events and I sold a lot of books, like
Mm-hmm.
67 of my books. But I do really well talking to people and
Yes.
explaining my books, um, which makes me think maybe going down the YouTube path would be a good idea. So I guess what
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking is the next step of should I contact him directly? Is it working with you right now? I'm just not sure. And he had so much information that night. He was
There
wonderful
was a lot
presenter.
of information
Like,
there that in his book adds a lot of great tips as well.
yeah, I got this one, the YouTube for
Yeah. Oh, I'm so
authors.
happy to hear that. I think it's a great book and it gives you a lot of really good advice from somebody who's been in the trenches and growing their
Mm.
YouTube channel for quite some time. So, but to set up your YouTube is not difficult at all. Just going on to youtube.com and create a new account there, signing up and getting your YouTube account settled or
Mm.
identified. Of course, the same way that when you go to any other social media platform, you're going to want to upload a little cover at the top that identifies who you are or what the
Okay.
channel name is. And then just count on the fact that your first 100 videos are not going to be your best. So just start, record,
Okay.
record, record. When I first started on YouTube, I would go into Zoom by myself and I would just hit record and I would record a session about whatever topic I was doing. I also was inspired to post my things on YouTube because so many of my authors that I was teaching kept asking the same question over and over. Things
Mm.
like,
Yeah.
how do I file my copyright? Do you have a video you can point me to? And I'd be like digging through things that I've done already to teach people or walk through with them. And I finally said, I'm just going to post this recording on YouTube. So I had to create a channel, but then I started posting it on YouTube as private videos. And then or unlisted, I called it unlisted, so that anybody that I gave the link to could see it, but not everybody else. So
Okay.
then I finally started thinking, maybe I should make them public so that if people are on YouTube saying, how do I create or how do I copyright my book, they'll find a video that walks through every step. So that's how I got started, is just trying to help other authors. And people started finding me as a result of some of the questions they were asking and then the videos that they found that I was, because weren't a lot of people walking through step by step live, not
Sure.
fast forwarding and just kind of talking through it basically. So I wasn't fast forwarding anything. It was like, look over my shoulder and we'll do it step by step by step. And so that was something that a lot of people needed help with, and that was good. I think you're right. Your books are very engaging, very interesting, but the things that you stand for, your values, your focus on the environment and how to do better, how we can do better,
Yeah.
and sustainability and all of that stuff, those are all topics that a lot of people are searching for.
Mm.
So I would highly recommend going onto YouTube yourself, and the advice that Dale had about creating your own account that's just for you to do research,
Okay.
just going in and create a new YouTube account and just search for things you think that your particular audience is interested in and consume those videos on that example account. And then when you go in and you type some search on
Mhm.
environmental books for kids or things like that. And then it's going to come up and show you, as somebody who's very interested in all that stuff, it'll show you what they see, what they find, what are some of the topics that others are writing about for that. Whereas if you try to do the same thing and do your research in your own account, you're probably going to also have things like, birthday party setup or
Right.
how do I do a better YouTube, those kind of things. So it's not really focused on a sample of what your particular type of user is looking for. So I thought
So
that was brilliant.
yeah, I mean, and that's what I remember going back. So,
Hmm.
and I'll go back and re-watch it, but so it's setting up one just for me is what he was saying and you're saying, so that I can do research,
Right,
not
as a
one that
user, right?
as
So
a user.
not as a YouTube channel, because you're going to
Right.
have your own YouTube
Right.
channel, but then use like a different email address and register as a just a user, and
Okay.
just only research things or follow things
Um,
that you think are interesting to somebody who you are creating videos for.
okay. And then later, and I'll go back again, I'll read about it more, but as a user, it's just for me to go and look. But then when I set up my own channel, that's totally different, right? Where people can
Right.
find
And I
me.
would and I
Okay.
would say set up your own channel and start with introducing yourself, and maybe
Okay.
you've also got videos that were created by some of the video editors that I
Right.
forwarded your stuff over to, and you've got walkthroughs of um your own children's books, right?
Right.
Animated walkthrough. So I would be loading those up. I would be loading up maybe an introduction or behind the scenes kind of information if you
Okay.
want to. But then, just go into a Zoom or any other kind of like
Okay.
um, there's a few
Hmm.
other software you could use, but most people know Zoom and it's pretty easy to
Yeah.
just click record. And it could just be you talking to a camera and
Okay.
Zoom recording it. And then from there, you can post that so that you've got an intro video or introducing yourself, a little bit of information about what your focus is and what your passions are. If you want to edit yourself, there are great tools that you could use like Descript. I highly recommend that for people that are brand new to editing. It's called Descript,
These.
Descript. If you prefer, if you don't have a lot of time or you are want it to be done really in a professional way, then I do have a video editor that does all my work. And you probably know her because she also works with my authors. It's Crestja.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Crestja Mayan, Main, she does a lot of my video editing. I just send her the videos and then she makes them more professional. She adds
Okay.
my animated introduction at the beginning. You can definitely tell the ones she has had a part in because they're so much better and more engaging than what I can do myself. So,
Okay.
yeah, having someone that can help you with that is great. You'll save money if you edit videos yourself, but
Right.
that's a whole nother thing that I'd say first learn YouTube and first get that in order before you
Yeah.
decide you want to go in and create, more work for yourself and multifaceted learning doesn't always sink in very easily.
And one quick last question, and then I'll move on to other people. When you do a YouTube channel, I mean, do you put up a name like just my name, or is it just something? I mean, do you know what I mean? Would it be, I
Hmm.
don't know. How do people identify? Because it's me, just me as an author, or um,
Yeah, you have to really think about what is your
okay.
brand because I
Right.
I had the same kind of challenge too because I have my name, which I
Yeah.
could do. I have my little Labradoodle Publishing, which is what is my publishing company. And
Right.
I have also created this program, which I trademarked called Self-Publishing Made Simple. And I
Right.
decided I really wanted to focus on that because most of what I was
Right.
doing is trying to help authors. I wasn't necessarily sharing a lot about my own books or behind the scenes. So I just made that the focus of my YouTube channel. And then somebody said to me, your name is your brand. You need to have your name in it. So I said, with April Cox.
With April Cox. Okay. Okay, fine.
So,
I'm there.
so
All right.
yeah.
Okay, I'll do more research on it and you and I can talk next week, but I just wanted to,
Hmm.
I was, he was so good and I've
He
heard him
was good.
before,
He's
but
awesome.
I do think it's something that I really can do. I just have to put my mind to it.
Right.
Okay.
The other thing, if you just want to be able to talk, not have a lot of editing cost, and you want to get through things,
Hmm.
you can do what I just did. I went in onto Zoom and I said, um, I'm doing a live stream. So
Okay.
I just went live and then I put in my YouTube credentials and it's streaming onto YouTube Live. So
Okay.
if you were to do that and it's a live stream, people don't expect it to be perfect. And you could be, going live for a 15-minute check-in or talking about a particular topic. Don't have to go live for an hour like what I do. But, and I would also say shorter videos will perform much better than these big long content that I do because those are made specifically for people that like to consume that long form content and they're much more rare
They're much more
than
rare. And
people are
my,
like 5 minutes,
yeah,
fine,
we're
10
done.
minutes, fine. But anything more than that, you have to have a very unique purpose and
Purpose
reason.
to go in. Oh yeah. My
Hmm.
daughter, Carrie Ellen, for anybody out there, it's Travel Bound Mom. And she has that Instagram thing and she does it every day. And it's all about traveling with kids and where to go from your backyard to Sardinia. They just were. And I don't know where that child came from because she's very comfortable in front of the camera more
Hmm.
than I ever thought she would be. But it's that type of thing, short, but it gets
Yes,
people's
very
attention. Hers
short.
are really short. I would do a little bit longer.
And I would
Okay.
I would even say, I think you've been playing around a little bit with my authorpreneur.ai.
Yeah.
And if
Mhm.
you go in there and you say, I'd like to create a podcast or I'd like to create a YouTube channel, and
Mhm.
here are the topics that I really love, can you give me some ideas? It'll give you a nice long list of ideas or questions that are
Okay.
commonly requested or asked for on YouTube. You don't even have to do all this research yourself. And then it'll have so many different, like 5 or 10 minute video ideas that it'll keep you very busy for a long
Okay.
time.
All
So
right.
I think it's definitely worth checking that out.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to that. I appreciate it. Okay.
Appreciate your question. Thanks for asking. Great question. And I think a lot more authors should make themselves visible because, like you mentioned, Leslie, when it comes to um, allowing people to connect with you and really feel your heart and understand your story, when they hear it in person, it's going to be so much better.
Mhm.
So awesome. Hi, Rosalie. Welcome. Glad you
Oh,
were able
hi,
to make
April.
it. Is
Thank you.
there, do you
Me
have a
too.
question for me?
I have two questions, very short questions. One is sometimes when I'm on these when I'm zooming in with you, and you say I'm going to post that, and you post it. I see you posting it, but I don't see it in the chat. So I'm thinking, where are you posting it? Is it posting on YouTube or is it posting where when you say I'm going to post that? Where exactly is that going?
Usually, I'm posting a link in the chat and I'm also posting it on the YouTube. When I'm live like this, I will try to also post the link there on YouTube so that if people are watching me there, they're able to see the link or whatever I'm sharing. Are you saying that you're not seeing it in the chat
Well,
area?
just just that
Okay.
one
Okay.
time. So maybe it was just an oversight, and I thought maybe you had a specific thing for your mastermind people, or I know you were
No, no,
doing.
no, no. Well,
Okay,
I do
yeah.
record all the mastermind sessions in a special place that's only for the mastermind people. But typically if I'm recording a video on YouTube, um, I'm either live or I'm recording a session and then sending things over to my editor and pulling out the important pieces of it and then loading it to YouTube. So sometimes it's a little bit of both.
Okay, and then my next question is, I would really love a list of your illustrators so that I could take a peek at them because I'm waiting for my story to come back from the publishing editor, and at that point I took great
Hmm.
notes from that session I sat in with you,
Hmm.
but I would like to see their samples as well.
Yeah, so I did email you back with a link that you
Oh,
can
I didn't.
download.
Yeah,
Yep,
I see the link. Was it after the
let
one
me,
that had the two with the tools and the spy tools and the other one? I thought there were only two in that link.
so it's Rose Lombardo, right?
No, Rose Lombardo, it was my AT&T from 18 years ago. It is
Oh, maybe
Rose.
I sent it to the wrong address. So
Yeah, yeah,
if you
yeah.
can drop your email address to me in the chat here, and you can
Oh,
direct it just to me if you
sure.
want,
Yeah,
I
because
will drop it right in there for you.
thank you. I did
Mhm.
receive the other ones. So you did send me the other two on rosalie.lombardo@gmail.com.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That's where it went.
Got
It
it.
into cyberspace. Thank you.
Okay. So here I'm going to send you this link right now. Um, And
Yeah.
what I will say is you're getting more than just my illustrators. For people that I work with one-on-one or that join my programs, they have access to not just me, but my network. So
I
I have
love that
I have
because
spent like 7 years putting this network together of
great.
editors. So you'll see a tab for editors, a tab for illustrators that links to all of their portfolios, pricing, all kinds of different things there. Same thing for designers, video editors,
Mhm.
so much great. That's my network that I'm happy to share with
Yeah.
with my clients as well.
Thank you for that, because there are a few other services that I'd like to look into if
Mhm.
it's worth doing for, well, I would like for somebody else to do it if I can afford it. So,
Right, right.
so
Yeah,
thank you for that. Yeah, I'm interested in
absolutely.
all of that. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So let's see. Where am I right now here? Good. I'm just trying to catch up. I think I messed up my view here on YouTube. So we did have someone join, and greetings from the Crenshaw Dynasty. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you on YouTube with us. Feel free to post any question that you have, and I'll be happy to answer it live here for you. And are you anything else there that I can help you with, Rosalie?
Um, I'm getting ready to do that. I'm getting ready to put it together my list for my launch. And you just mentioned, because I came in late, I ran
Mm-hmm.
home so that I could hopefully catch you at the beginning, but I missed
Yeah,
the first.
stay with me because you're going to end up with all the information you need to know about putting together the
Heard,
launch team and
I
when do
heard
you
that.
preview.
Okay,
So
so I heard
yes,
you say something about a launch team. I didn't know if it was after this
it
one.
is. It's directly after this at 9
Okay,
p.m. Eastern. So if
okay,
you're here with me already on
yes.
this meeting, just
Mhm.
hang with me and I will say
Okay,
goodbye to our YouTube friends at 9 o'clock and then switch over to the mastermind session. So I'm going to do some real life examples and you'll be able to share your real life example as well. And I'll be able to answer specifically what you need to do to move to the next level as well.
thank you.
Okay, awesome. Great. Let me see. So I do want to ask to mention one thing. We talked recently, like I said, about coloring books and taking your children's book images and turning them into coloring books. And I want to just show you, I might as well walk through some of the stuff that I've been doing with one of my other authors. And I found someone who is willing to, if you've got an illustrated children's book and you want to take those illustrations and convert them into coloring pages, he is volunteering to do that for me, for my authors, for the low price of $50 to
Oh,
convert
wow.
your full book, so 27 or so illustrations typically, into coloring pages. And then you can pass that along to your designer, or you can let me know, and I will be happy to help you get it to that next level. So let me show you one of the ones that he just finished for me, and I've been putting here on the color on the Canva. So great book that is launching now. The book is by Patty Lennox. It's called There's a Frog in My Hair. And I converted her 8.5 by 8.5 inch cover to this activity book cover by just really using, I'm in Canva right now, but I went in and I took her cover, dropped it in, and then I went in and used the magic expand to expand it down so that I got the bottom half here with it, it just extended it. And then I just dropped something here that says activity book. So now she'll have her book design or her
Ah,
cover also as now we have the cover right here that we can use for her activity book. And so you can see every single one of her images is
wow.
now, isn't that adorable? I'm just gonna
It
take
is.
a look. So it's absolutely adorable. We went through and one of the things I asked her is, do you want the same words on the book as you have on the picture book? And she I shared with her that I usually don't do that because I have rhyming stanzas and when I'm doing a coloring book, it's great if they have the same exact story. Some people like that, keep it there so that it's a storybook and a coloring book at the same time. But I usually just paraphrase something. Um, John Ruff and the frog played and splashed together. So that's an adorable coloring page, but it also gives a little bit of information about what's going on, but it's not the long rhyming stanza, 4 lines of rhyming. So we don't have to have quite the same exact words. Some people just leave the words off altogether and don't bother. But we went through, I had the gentleman give me all of the coloring pages, and then I started just plopping them in and adding, like this was a little long or wide, so it didn't really fill one page. So I thought maybe I'll just add some
Mhm.
lines there and ask the children, what do you think that the frog was feeling at this moment? His new friends are leaving. So here you can see all of these. And I took this Canva template that is an 8.5 by 11 template that when you share and download, you can basically just upload it to KDP. It's got all of the right dimensions for you to just take this and throw it right on Amazon. So it's kind of cool to be able to have that, and it's not difficult. Katie, if you go to Amazon's help and ask what the dimensions are for a 8.5 by 11, it'll tell you exactly what the dimensions need to be, including the gutter and everything else. So you can just create that using Canva, create that specific size dimensions, and then you can take this and move it forward. Create. Now this has a number of um, pages here. I also went in, and here's one. I decided that since there was this scene in the story where Hopper can't find his friends and the friends can't find him. So I said, oh, maybe I should just take a maze and pull that in there. And Canva has mazes and other things inside. If you want to just use some things and add stuff over to the coloring book here, then you can have all of that. Um, you can just use what's there on Canva and make it your own. Like I added a different title. I took off the two images that Canva had, and I just put her images. I grabbed a couple things and put that there for her. So I started to incorporate some of these things. I'll be meeting with her this evening and finalizing this, and then I'll just export it. So she'll have her interior done. And so there's one missing image I have to go back and get. But other than that, this is ready to export. So if I go into share, download, when you're exporting things, you just leave all of the pages. This has 46 pages. So probably in the end, it'll be a 48-page book, leaving that last page blank so that it can go on to KDP without any issues. And when you download the trick, whoops, I clicked download instead of showing you what I meant to show you. Hold on, sorry. The magic of live streaming is you sometimes have an oops. But hey, that makes us human, right? So here I'm clicking download and then download here. So you got, instead of PNG file type, so downloading one file, you go here and you choose PDF print. So the PDF print means it is printed or downloaded in a quality that you can then use to publish on Amazon. PDF print. Sometimes I'll do flattened PDF because sometimes I have multiple things here. So just flattening it. And instead of RGB, which is best for digital use, you go to CMYK, which is what's required if you're going to be posting something on Amazon or on Ingram Spark. You want it to be CMYK. So then I click download and it will give me the PDF that I can then turn around and upload. So the only other piece of putting this coloring book together would be having a front and back cover in a separate PDF. And so since I've already created the first part of it, oops, where am I going with this? So I've already created the first piece of it, which is here, here, which I very much like. Go down here. I like the way that that came out, and it's exactly like her picture book cover. So it'll look nice, but I will go look up the 2-page front and back dimensions, and that will end up I'll make a new image that extends bigger, puts the cover on this side, and then the back cover will go on the other side. So I might just take her front and back cover the way it is now on the regular book and modify it just a little bit to apply. And then now I've got a separate PDF that I'll export. And now I have a front and a back cover that is uploaded for the cover. And then I have the interior. So I'll basically do this for her without having to pay somebody, a designer, to come in and generate her files. So that saves a little bit of money, although, she's working with me to learn how to do it. So my coaching is involved, but it's something that as you, as an author, can learn how to do these things, then it will help you be able to create additional things that you can then market and grow and get some passive income from. Okay, I'll stop my share. So Leslie, I see you got your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, quick question on that because my first two books, I paid and had the whole activity book made, and it was all the words exactly with coloring book, and then I did activity sheets. For my last two books on Canva with Leslie, I created just activity sheets. So I'm looking at that going, So that I think that might be the best of both worlds to be able to do it on
I
my own.
do. I do like it because you can save some money. And I
Yeah.
shared in a recent interview when I was talking about this coloring book.ai tool, I was mentioning that it cost me over $900 to create my last activity
Yeah.
book because I had a team of people that go in and they specialize on turning the images into
Right.
coloring pages, but they have to painstakingly draw and outline
Mm.
exactly what's there to create those. And that's $15 to $20 a page for them to do that. And then I have a designer who then takes that creates a front cover, back cover, and then creates the interior layout and sends me the file. So all in, it was over $900. And I could have done that myself. Now that I have this coloring book AI tool, which
Okay.
I'm happy to jump in and demonstrate if anybody missed that, but it's a fantastic opportunity. And it's the very first tool that I've ever tested that actually worked and
Mhm.
looked exactly like the
You wanted
the
it to be.
images that are actually there. Like I would test one of these that was like, oh, it will convert what you have into something that's a coloring page, and then I would do it, but it looked similar. Like I had two labradoodles cuddling, but they weren't my two labradoodles. It was just a similar thing.
Okay.
So now this coloring book.ai tool is, and you can start for free just to check it out, is amazing. I'll put a link to
Okay.
that tool where you can grab it from my affiliate link, but it's free to try. And then if you want to upgrade and get more tries, like after a certain amount of time, it'll be like, okay, you've used up all
Right.
your free things. So now you have to decide if you want to upgrade. But I think the total all in was like $20 a month. And so I ended up upgrading to premium and I've been just having a blast with it. And my granddaughter thinks it's hilarious because she likes to upload like
Of
pictures of
course.
herself and turn it into a coloring page and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun for them too.
Do you have to do like when I did my activity books for the first two books, there was an ISBN on them. So do you do I mean, I have ISBNs available. Do you put ISBNs on them also?
If you're going to take this coloring book and sell it on Amazon, then yes, give the paperback
Okay.
an ISBN. And
Okay.
so you can just put that into your copyright page. So as you're laying things out, make sure you have a copyright page there. Put the same kind of verbiage on the copyright there, but then just make sure you add that paperback ISBN, and then you're good to go. You'll have to generate a barcode for the back cover
Right.
with that, and I can walk through the
Okay.
tool that
Yeah.
I use for that. I use a free tool instead of buying a barcode from
Right.
Boker. I just use the Bookow, Bookow, bookow.com for generating a free barcode. I just posted that
Okay.
there for you.
That would
But yeah,
be Because now when you just said if you're going to be selling it, are you talking if you don't do the ISBN, people are doing these for free or I
So
mean,
I love to give people a lot of value.
right.
So when I first created my children's books, I always create an activity book to go with it. And in the back of my children's book, I have a QR code where people can go sign up for my email and they'll
Mhm.
get a free copy of the PDF copy of my activity book.
Okay.
So they get it for free. And if you all you're doing is generating something that you want to use and make downloadable to give people a gift in exchange for their email,
Okay.
then you don't need an ISBN assignment for that. But if you're going to sell it on um, Barnes and Noble, other places like that, and sell it on Amazon, then you definitely want to have an ISBN for that.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So I have a question, April.
Go ahead.
Um, you just said that if it's going to be a paperback, is that in addition to if you have an actual paperback book and a hardcover? And would this coloring book have an additional ISBN or does it you? Okay,
Yeah,
thank
because
you.
it's a completely different book.
Then got it. Thanks.
So, and in the past, you could also generate a a Kindle version of it. Sometimes it still is allowed to go through. Other times it doesn't. So sometimes when I try to upload the ebook version, it gets blocked by Amazon. But sometimes they let it through and it's fine. And people are like, well, why would anybody want a Kindle version of your coloring book? Well, there are some people out there that actually love to look at things on Kindle. They'll take a screenshot or they'll print it. There's also when I give away the Kindle on one of the very first pages, I'll put scan here to download the PDF for free so they can buy the Kindle or get the free Kindle as a promotion. And then they see that there's a URL that they can, I mean, a code they can scan to get the download of the book. So then they can print out as many of their favorites over and over again. And that's part of what they get. It's there along with the ebook itself. Okay.
Got it. Thank
So I'm
you.
going to put the coloring book AI link there. And then if anybody, is anybody interested in me going in and showing the coloring book AI real quick and showing you what you can do with it?
So, question, April, you said that it allows you to play with it on a sample basis for
Mhm.
how long? Do you know?
I don't remember what it was, but I think it's more like a certain number of generated things you can do for
Okay.
free.
Okay.
So let me just quickly show here, dashboard. So when you come to coloringbook.ai, I'll just go to the regular page. It says start free now, no credit card required. So I don't remember how long or how
Okay.
much you could do for free. Um, but I'll show you here some of the things that I get into is just going in from the dashboard and uploading an image. And then here you can see all of the things that here's the original, here's the coloring page. Like it's exactly what I uploaded. And I'm just going to scroll down and do some others here. See I had been doing a lot with her stuff, tweaking things. Let me try something. I'm just going to upload an image here and I'll find a PNG. If anybody has one that you like me to check out or do something with, just post it in the comments and I'll grab it. Let's see. This is the one that I love so much. This is one of my favorite book images from my children's picture book. And actually, I did the wrong thing. I meant to put the regular one up so that you could see. Let's do puppies. Puppies. All right, so I'm just going to upload the color version of a picture from the book Puppies Pickup Day, and I'm going to preserve their faces and just generate, and then it will go through and generate some things for us. See if I can find some other things that I've already generated. I should probably show you over here that when you are doing things, you can see how if you have a picture of of your child and you want to do something cool, you can upload their picture and generate something like this. I had one author that decided to do something like that for their child's birthday and then handed out as in their goodie bags along with goodie bags so people could color. Or they took there was a party or something and they took pictures it was a wedding. They took pictures at the wedding and then selected a bunch of them and turned them into a coloring book and then sent them back to everybody along with a thank you card for coming. And that was kind of a cool little
Cool.
gift. But they also have a list of free coloring pages that are tons and tons of different things. So butterflies, you just click the word butterfly and it shows you a bunch of images that are already made for you. And you can decide, do you want to use coloring pages for kids, which are thicker line, or you want to do something that's more geared for adults with a thinner line or teens. So you can choose what you want. And then it's got this code, the coloring page generator is what I did, which, one upload at a time. But they also have this coloring book generator where it generates not only the interior images, but this is a cover that was generated by the AI. So you come in and you give it a story outline or upload an image that you think that will help the AI understand what you're looking for. And then it generates a whole coloring book and the cover, which is kind of cool and up to 20 pages. Um, Crazy. You can generate up to 5 pages even if you don't have the premium version. If it's a free version, you can still do up to 5 pages and give it a little story outline or ask it to inspire you. Here's a quiet forest clearing, meta-friendly giant panda who was sleeping. A wonderful story began. And then generate, and then like I said, it gives you the entire coloring book that you can download. You can also go here and just discuss what it is that you want with a text, and it will do the same. And here are some that people have generated through the AI coloring book. It's crazy, really crazy how.
April, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Just hypothetical, if someone just wanted to do a coloring book and not based on any other book that they may or may not have had,
Hmm.
and wanted to upload just to generate, like, as you say, some additional income, would you also have a book launch for that as well?
You might, you could. Um, Depending, or you could just send it out to your email list and post about it on social media. Here's that image that I created. So there's my puppies, and then that's them in a coloring page. And we started some of these discussions because we were looking at coloring books. One of my authors said, what do how do you feel about coloring books? And I have one author that's been creating crossword puzzles and word searches for adults, things like, the 70s and um, things that would appeal more to the older generation that they were writing for. And then there was a bunch of things that people were trying to do on children's coloring books. So if I do coloring books for ages 4 to 8, let's say, and I started to look at what was in here and how things were coming together, and I couldn't believe some of the profits that they're making. Of
Mhm.
course, it's a very saturated market. So you have to distinguish yourself, and it might take time to get through and go up to a level that really where you'll be able to be really profitable. But especially since it doesn't cost anything for you to be able to do these things yourself, you can like I showed you, you can generate the things, you can create your own coloring book. Here is estimated monthly revenue of some of these books. Big Book of Coloring, that's this. They make revenue of $36,000 a month. This one here, this is a Bluey one, so you can't really count or compare yourself with Bluey, but Mermaid Coloring Book is 15,000 a month. Unicorn, Mermaid, and Princess, 13,000.
That's
Unicorn
just on a
Fairy
coloring book?
on just a coloring book,
Wow.
yes. Now, if I click on this big book, which is the, what is it, 37,000 a month, it is a bestseller, but it's a bestseller in a children's Fox and Wolf books. So I don't necessarily count this as a bestseller in anything else. Like, yeah, you might have a fox and you might have a wolf, but it's
Mhm.
not a fox and wolf book. So this is a little misleading. However, when you take a look at the interior of the book, so if I click the read inside, and let's see what is so great about this book that's making that kind of money. So it's got some cute animals, which I like. It's got some mini pictures of what's coming, just as a teaser. And now it's got on the left side, it describes the animal that's going to be on the right side. So red panda. And now here's a red panda. Nothing that I just showed you this is not any better than anything I showed you. Here's a quokka and there's a quokka. So there's no reason why authors can't be, if you've got, especially if you've got some really good ideas for a coloring book, and we all know kids because we write for them. So you can absolutely get some passive income by working on and pulling together coloring books that then really speak to the target audience. And especially if you can create them for free, I would say if you don't have the skill set to do it yourself, have this gentleman that I'm connected to at least take your children's book um, images and convert those over. But you can also focus on some themed things like, color. This is a big book of coloring animals. And then there were some that were doing really well that were mermaids and things like that. So you can definitely create those kinds of things. This is the Unicorn Mermaid Princess. And this one I think was 1,300 a month that it's in sales. So that doesn't look very hard to do. And it doesn't have to be associated exactly with your book. And if I the look inside on this one, let's just see. I mean, it's cute, but what is making it so good as far as being able to generate that kind of money? Well, I think we could do something like that, right? We could certainly do something like that. Yeah, that's all it will show us, but they're not difficult to create. They're actually very easy to create.
Yeah, I was looking at the price of it too on the side, right? Nine
Yeah,
ninety
10
nine, which
bucks.
is wow.
Yep.
Hmm,
Yep. And
cool.
so if I'm thinking about it being a paperback, even if they're doing print on demand, which they probably are at $9.99, they're probably making $5 or more a book, $5 or $6 a book on each one of those. And the amount of sales they're getting, this is a nice passive income. I actually found one coloring book that was making over $100,000 a month, which was crazy. So you can do it. And if you love doing picture books, and we all know that they are very expensive to create because we're paying for illustrations and things like that, perhaps this could be a secondary way to raise funds that you can then use also for your picture book creation. Let me just quickly check in here with my folks on YouTube. And oh, by the way, I did put my affiliate link. If you want to try out that coloring book thing, I would be happy if you would use my affiliate link to check it out. And let me see. No additional questions here. Good, good. Anybody else have something you want to chat about?
So let me grab this.
We've got about, this will be our last question for this session. And then I'm going to close out and say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. And then we're going to move over to our session with the mastermind group. So
A very quick question. I know I'm not at that point yet, but I really want to get that, the spy thing and you
yes,
have that you sent me. And even though my book probably won't be for 2 months-ish, um, would you recommend getting it now and playing with
I
that?
would. I would
Thank
recommend
you.
getting it now for a couple of reasons. First of all, and I'll put the link here, it's KDSpy. And as you could see, one of the real benefits of using KDSpy is being able to look behind the scenes and do keyword research, but also be able to see which books are making money, how much are they making, and you can actually export that whole list and come up with a list. Like what I usually do is I'll find a list, like say the coloring books here. I'll get a list like that, export all the information, and then I'll filter my list to say, show me only the ones that are making $1,000 or more per month. Now I have a list, including all of their ASINs that I can then run. I can put into an ad, an Amazon ad, because if they're making that kind of money, they're getting lots of views. And if I'm targeting those books directly, then my coloring book will also show up when people are on those, looking at those particular items. So that's, and the second reason why I think it's really good to grab that tool now is because those tools like Publisher Rocket just went from buy once to a monthly fee. And I think I've been hearing whispers that KDSpy is going to potentially be doing the same. So buy it now and pay once for like, I think it's 60 or $70, and you don't ever have to pay again. It's lifetime. And even if they go to a monthly fee, you still are going to keep your version. You'll be grandfathered in and never have to pay again.
That was my question, if you're grandfathered in. Okay,
Yep.
good.
So it's
I,
really, really good to get now.
I will do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. So I'm going to say goodbye here to my friends on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Come back. We do this once a week, 8 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget to click and subscribe so you can get notified when I'm online and check out all these great videos that I post. So again, thank you for being here, and we'll be back again soon. Take care.